You know what I hate, guys? When YouTubers put a question in their title, don't give an answer throughout the video and end it with
And the answer is that I can't decide. The truth lies somewhere in the middle, guys. Please give it to me.
So I'm going to give you the answer right now. No, the vets didn't gaslight us. Rise is indeed super easy. Look, no love to the vets, they do be over-exaggerating. I think the current narrative is every new entry is easier than the last and no fucking way Wilds is easier than Rise. Comparing base Rise, if you take Sunbreak into account then. Oh hey, the shopkeeper is calling you.
Sa, you forgot your brain.
But there's your answer from me. If you still think the title was clickbaity then... Wait, don't click away yet. Wow, you have beautiful fingers. Could you... That is how I felt while playing Rise. And that is where the gaslighting lies. Because I remember when it came out, even everyone who liked the game went, it's a great game, but it's really easy. Well, I must be a boob guy because I don't like this but. I enjoy Rise not despite, but because it is easy. Kind of. I'm not saying Rise would have been worse if it was more challenging, but you know how fake Dark Souls fans say Dark Souls 2 is a good game but a bad Souls game? I say, if Monster Hunter Rise was harder, it would still be a good game, but a bad Rise game. Now that might be confusing to low IQ people who skipped mind reading classes back in badminton prep school, so let me explain. There are other entries in Monster Hunter that also tried to be easy, but Rise committed to it. It said fuck what haters say, the goal is to be the most convenient, most pick-up and game out of the series and it stuck to that. Triu and Wilds are also super easy, talking about the story portion here, but they fail at doing that well. Rise is the only entry that succeeds at being easy. So remember that this video is about the gaslighting regarding Rise being bad for being easy, when it is actually good. So even when I veer off on tangents away from difficulty, I'm still on topic and it's not that I don't know how to write a script. I write great scripts. See here, it's been a while since the last joke, so I'm going to add something funny. But anyway, bottom line of the introduction, Rise did easy well. That's why I loved it. But more importantly, that's why you must love it. Disagreement will not be tolerated. Rajang, do your thing. If you watched my previous Monster Hunter video, which you probably didn't, you'll remember, which you probably don't, that I played Triu and found that game to be super easy as well. But before comparisons begin, here's a quick rundown of my thoughts on Triu, showing you all the cards in my foreskin so you know that I'm not going to pull any fast ones.
Pause.
I played through the story, which is just low rank and high rank, but I know nerfs were made for the ultimate version of 3, so I went through low rank with just the leather armor set to kinda up the difficulty, but I know that monster moves are changed too, so that's probably not enough, but I would still say the game is easy because I only struggled with Sergey, and even in high rank once I got the Rogi armor set, I didn't really face any challenge. And YouTube, please blow up my video so I don't have to keep setting things up, but do a previously on Dragon Ball Z segment again. Since I'm talking about base Rise in this video, as people were more satisfied once Sunbreak came out, I think the comparison with 3U low rank and high rank is fair. If you think it's not, let me know in the village bulletin board. Now guys, Rise has an astonishingly similar difficulty curve to 3U, going from easy to hard to...
That's it.
I think 3U is slightly more difficult in the beginning and Rise slightly more difficult in the midly, but overall when it comes to the monsters, they're the same picture. And the Rise roster would fit right in any entry post 2nd gen. But the monsters are not all there is to this game, otherwise it would just be called Monster Rise. You need to look at the Hunter as well. I didn't fail a single quest throughout my playthrough in Rise. I did card, but I occasionally failed quests in 3U and even in Wilds. What's going on? I even remember a YouTube video that compared the damage monsters did in Rise vs World in great detail. And the numbers were very similar, so why did I barely have to use any health items besides the first aid meds provided in the hub quests? Why could I start with the hub quests and didn't even have to consider the village quests? What makes Rise easy? Why am I doing this? For a setup, to make the script more intriguing.
Juicy black butt scene gets fucked by aggressive BBC thug.
But you guys aren't idiots. Anyone who subscribes to this channel is a genius and very handsome and or pretty. You know why Rise is easy. The wire bugs, letting you bug out on these monster fucks. The new moves. Hammer is the only weapon I'll ever need to use. The endemic life. Serves your needs like an army man's wife. The palamute. I want to crack that thing. Basically, convenience is the name of the game named Rise. So far gone are we from the days when you couldn't even roll backwards after an attack. If you thought just being able to To dodge the most ungodly of attacks felt overpowered. Now, for the low price of 5-second cooldowns, you can zip around the map like Spider-Man trying to save the love of his life. And these little wire bugs don't just serve the purpose of traversal, they also let you get back on your dinner immediately after being smacked by a monster. Ride monsters like a tank to go into walls or attack other monsters, finishing in a crazy climax where you can wail on the down monster as the one you just rode does the sickest move to which you are invulnerable. Pull off crazy new moves that let you stay on your target's heels consistently with even a slow weapon like the hammer. Did I say slow? I meant let's go! I didn't really have to learn patterns to target the different monster parts at all. Want to hit the tail?
Boom, I got you.
Want to fly to the wings?
Boom, I got you.
Want to break the back? Oh, the monsters, little fella.
Boom, I got you.
And back in DOS, I remember that charging the hammer sapped your stamina like... But this time I didn't even have to look at the stamina bar. That over everything else felt too powerful. But I'm relatively new to hammers, so I don't know if that is a Rise thing or it started in World or even before that, so I won't check and just add one more point for Rise and one more middle finger for the haters. Speaking of addition, in addition to the movement, another way the devs have made the hunts quicker and more convenient is through... no gentle way of saying this. Gutting preparation. Everything you needed to prepare before is now handed to you on a silver skewer. Someone on the team said, what if we could juice the enslaved species in this universe for more productivity than ever before and after? Every time I lost some health, my Palico had 2 medical solutions ready to go. Blow the horn of rejuvenation and heal me no matter where I am, or plant a herbal plant and let me use it to create a cloud of healing mist that heals over time and lasts for a really long time and can be used again after a really short time. I rarely even had to use any waifu bathwater mix for debuffs, be it fire or poison or even soap. My lunch's one spray to cure them all medical treatment fixed everything. And this one stays almost permanently for you to use as many times as you like. I guess the ancient Japanese proverb is true. Dogs are overrated.
I don't love you.
Cats are goated. Now your Palico doesn't have to be a support type, but I didn't know the extent of how overtuned the support was when I started the game, and once I got hooked on that, you know I wasn't gonna look back, huh? Beyond that, the wildlife is now your friend.
Twin, can I borrow a dollar?
When I roamed the biomes of DOS, I was biting my nails out of fear like an old cartoon character, beelining straight towards my objective lest I bite off more key than I can chew bread that tastes better. In Rise, the zones are littered with useful creatures that make hunting easier. Trap bugs that I thought would trap monsters but only interrupt them for a second. Not the best start, but that's very useful. Bugs that you can place on the floor to release a healing mist. Beetles that you can shoot to give monsters HIV. Skunks with which you can lure monsters to other monsters. Toads with which you can 9/11 monsters in place of barrel bombs. And if these examples are too decision coded for your TikTok brain, how about passive buffs like attack up, defense up, less stamina drain, and much more. You'll find everything you need in the wilds, no need for drugs. You can make it, says Capcom. Just inhale insect fluids instead. As for hot and cold drinks, that whole system has been removed entirely. Go to the desert, stay chill. Go to the Antarctic. Is it temperate in here or is it just me? Okay, gentlemen, are you all Rajangri yet? Ladies, are you clutching your beast gems? Rise is so easy. Rise is catering to casuals. Rise sucks. Hold your palamutes there, buddies. Let me tell you something.
Cheers! The motherfucking tea.
When it comes to art, I don't care about what, I care about how. Let a game be easy, let a game be hard. How well does it pull it off? That's the important bit. DOS was brutal, it was... but it committed to that difficulty. It wanted you to feel like a shark in a jungle full of toilet papers ready to wipe you off the face of the earth's cheeks. You had to plan out when and what to hunt, and gathering depended on the seasons. Money was tight and inventory space was...
Screw you!
This could cause tedium in the moment-to-moment gameplay, but on a grander scale, it immersed you in the hunter lifestyle. It felt like you needed to plan everything out before tackling the next monster, because just like fighting the stigma against liking your cousin, the preparation truly mattered. We enlightened ones will always give a game its flowers, and we enlightened ones will never discriminate against inter-family romance. Am I right or am I right, guys? Rise turns the needle completely to the other side from DOS and throws everything that might be tedious in the trash can. No need to worry about your inventory space, no need to worry about tracking the monster, no need to worry about preparation. Forget about the right gear and items for the job, just go out there and hunt. Waz wanted to be easy as Peace 2 but still wanted to capture that feeling of DOS of a deep ecosystem, where the world constantly changed and you were a small part of it rather than a conqueror. Well, guess what? JS conquered the shit out of it. Then, like I said, some vice versa action for 3U. It wanted to be easier than previous games but didn't go full throttle. So it was left in a kind of they-them space where you have preparation but you don't really need to prepare. Your item box needed to be expanded but it was really cheap and the space you started out with was already enough. You needed to track monsters but you'd blaze through the story, so the game wasn't really immersive. Water combat was great but there are some disagreeers who need to be... Rise is devoted to being easy. There is something so snappy and to the point about it. Beyond what I've already mentioned, just take a look at these gathering animations. Yeah, sure, we could keep things real and make the hunter gather one item at a time, but Rise isn't interested in realism. In real life, you have to be cheated on 3 times to get one good girlfriend like me or you lose credibility. But in Rise, you just have to strike the ore 1 time to get 3 materials, otherwise the game would lose some of its intense pacing. Add to it the ability to climb up almost anything and you get a type of exploration that is very different from its immediate predecessor but rewarding in its own way. You're not getting lost in the world, scavenging for tracks and slowly making your way through unknown territory. If you want to go somewhere in Rise, you can get there easily and efficiently. But since the team who came up with the movement also designed the maps, there are plenty of nooks and crannies tucked away from sight and mind like your old age home granny, which you will only access if you decide to go off the beaten path. If you decide to climb up that wall that doesn't need to be climbed to reach your target. Every time you find something unexpected, it's a wonderful surprise, but it never gets in the way of hunting. Rise is just so convenient. I know that word has negative connotations, but don't imagine a McDonald's burger. Imagine a world-class chef trying to elevate fast food to the highest order. That is Rise. The monsters and fights are please fuck me. The weapons and armor sets are perfect. Everything else is just cleared so we can focus on the grind.
Victory!
Now, there are some ways in which Capcom shoots itself in the foot with poison ammo, but here's my antidote for it. Fuck Palamutes, fuck Sacreds, fuck any type of traversal that does not include sweaty souls. Earth swimming is okay. You cannot make the world your mom enough for satisfying traversal on both foot and paws. It's really annoying to have to grab some material, then get to the next material when the grabbing animation is not even finished, and then you wait there for half a second like, nice rock, grab the material and repeat the cycle. Half a second? That's like less than 1 second in human years. The ocean is built with droplet upon droplets, and these microseconds add up to make your overall traversal underwhelming. And we're to keep jumping off our doggo and on and off and on again since they can't run on walls, but we can? Look at those and tell me which seem more grippy. Capcom? Actually, never mind. The Badamute along with the time-to-time jankiness of the wall climb prevent the movement from being as smooth as it could have been. I think just a small addition of being able to land on your Palamute as you're jumping to continue momentum would have gone a long way, but getting rid of the rides is ultimately the best decision. This is not a series that needs size, I think. The areas need to be dense and intricate, not large and open. And for such areas, the hunter's legs are enough. But don't stop worrying, there's one more.
What the fuck is this?
Having to gather all the perma buffers in every quest to unlock max health and stamina was certainly a decision, and whoever made that decision certainly deserves a something.
Let's go to the 99-cent store. Let's pick out a rope together.
This is not a problem for much of the game due to the low difficulty, but as you get to the late game fights, it's better to stay safe than sorry, and although sorry could be a safe is a boring. Capcom could have kept them, but also let players craft some juice or cracker to get max HP and stamina by themselves. They could have called it, Max Kool-Aid maybe? I don't know, this is a really new thing, guys. Capcom, why would you make us waste so much time when Rise was gunning to be one of the most portable and easy to play monster hunters that ever monster hunted in the history of monster hunting? Another weird, but this time quite nitpicky thing Rise does is repeat dialogue. Whenever something new is introduced like melding pots being unlocked or things improve in the village like more items being available for sale or foods becoming more potent, we always get the news in the village as well as the multiplayer hub for some reason. Yay, double the fun, but instead of fun into fun, it's fun and fun again. And also without the fun. This by itself isn't a big deal since you can just skip everything, but the game saves every time we are done talking to someone and you have to wait for this green saving icon to end spinning before you can talk to another person, or cat, or female. You can circumvent this by fast traveling to a zone upon which you can talk to someone while saving, but the process of clearing out all speech bubbles is generally tedious. It might just be a bug though, because I don't remember this happening when I played the game years ago. I just checked after finishing the video if you can turn autosave off, and turns out you can, so no big deal. All of what I've mentioned are very minor points to begin with, and other than all of that, I don't really have any complaints with Rise. So haters, you don't believe me, do you? You think I'm purposefully glazing over some stuff so I can glaze Rise's Rise. I get you. There are two things. Two erect complaints nippled behind my head like a firing squad that I have been avoiding like the Curio plague. But not because I am afraid to tackle them. You might be surprised, but I have absolutely zero qualms with the rampages and the lack of an endgame. First off, I don't know why people hate so much on rampages. Maybe it's because trying to clear out every single rampage gets tedious, but I'm not a completionist, so I don't look at them like that. I did just the main story ones and they were a nice little break from the regular hunts. Broke up the pace, don't love the final arena race, keeping track of everything while you're being chased, but I don't think this mode needed to be erased. What can I say? I've always liked tower defense where it didn't belong, and even though rampages aren't the most deep tower defense type modes, getting to choose what offensive or defensive items to place where is more fun than using just the cannons and ballistas till they run out of ammo. Maybe rampages are just better suited than sieges for solo Sigma players like me. I'm not gonna keep going back to them repeatedly, but from time to time, why not? Then the endgame, or more like end without game since there really isn't an endgame system. You make what weapons and armor you want to make and call it a day. Again, different problem, same opinion. I'm just not someone who plays these games for hours and hours and hours, although this time I think I could have if not for this video. But it doesn't matter to me that there isn't a near endless grind to do at the end. I try the available quests, increase my hunter rank, fight the new monsters, craft anything I want to craft, and then it's done and dusted, out of this world. But even if I loved grinding, this lack of endgame content probably wouldn't have tanked my opinion on the game too much. After 100 hours you notice that Skyrim doesn't have enough depth, so it's a mediocre game? I enjoy games for the core experience. And if extra stuff that I enjoy is lacking, then yeah, maybe I'll deduct a point or a ha, but it's not going to ruin the experience for me. So it was with Rise, and that is all she wrote. She being me and wrote being fucking your mom. The complaints about the lack of an Elder Dragon trio and the actual final quest at the time of release I do understand, but due to COVID times and looking at the team's general track record, I'm willing to let it slide. What can I say?
I guess I'm just a nice guy who also happens to be single.
Now that I have mentioned the final quest, should I talk about Rise's story? It's not good, but I'll say that this is the type of story that suits Monster Hunter. First of all, I skipped the village quests entirely this time because I had played through them many years ago.
Drippy.
And I didn't want to do double the low rank quests just to experience a dull story again. Second of all, no one gives a flying narwa what happens in the story of Monster Hunter, but that doesn't necessarily make you feel detached from the village. In Komura, you understand that rampages happen here, so there's a unique backstory. Everything is Japanesey, so there's a unique aesthetic. People here love dogs and ninjutsu and sustain themselves solely on dangos.
It smells like 17-year-old girls' stinky feet.
So there's a unique culture, and there's a huge frog in the hub, so there's the... okay, so this is Komura. Beyond that, getting quests from the NPCs and just talking to them from time to time, having conversations,
6'7", mate.
not a phone in sight, just living in the moment is enough to get you attached to the village. So the repeated premise of, oh, this monster is the main threat to the village, but no, actually there's bigger fish, but no, actually there's bigger fish, with a sprinkling of rampages and insensible mind control, don't really harm the overall experience. Could it have been better? DOS, but could it have been worse? 3U. All Monster Hunter games are monster hunting games, but they don't have to be exactly the same. Different games can put the focus on different things. World wanted to create an uncharted universe for you to explore. DOS wanted to immerse you in the hunter fantasy. And Rise wants to give you the most arcadey hunting experience ever. And it knocks that out of the park. I hadn't played Rise fully before due to save file corruption, and I was also new to the series at that time, so I didn't realize just how fantastic the roster was. Probably the best base roster outside of WoWs that I have experienced. I haven't played everything, so don't come at me. Tetradon, you can come at me. My chubby buddy, I would never miss any sumo match you participated in. Somnacant, forgive me for not even realizing that you are part of a long lineage of bag of tricks monsters. You are now one of my favorites. Ratnakadaki, I think you should audition for Armored Core. I think you'd fit very well there. Gosarag was the monster in the trailer that made me want to buy the game. And his fight was extremely cool. Get it? Cool. Because of the sword. Swords are cool. Although, I think he should have 1 star removed because he is fairly slow and easy. Now, these are some of my favorite new monsters in the game, and I'm not going to go over everything, but I should provide a few words on the flagship monster, I think. Purple and yellow. The one called Magnum Malo. You are great flagship, but the others are more fantastic. Yeah, no hate guys, I do enjoy fighting Magnamalo. His fighting style with the evil ass purple beams and dragon fire from his tail are fantastic. But I enjoy him for the gameplay. His design and powers from a lore perspective are a tad bit too cartoonish for me. And his role in the story is also not very significant. So far my least favorite flagship. Oh, and his dive attack reminds me of Nergigante. So he's not quite up there, but still a great fight. I was also pleasantly surprised by the changes to some of the returning monsters. Rathalos was probably the monster I struggled with the most in this game. He nonchalantly shot fireballs at me from afar, he did dive into fire blast combos, and all around felt more relentless. But I enjoyed learning his patterns. Then quickly, Rathian also felt a bit tougher than in general, and his double tail flip felt more accurate this time around. Nagakuga didn't feel like a punching bag like in Triyu, and I had real trouble dodging its tail swipes. I really loved Diablos' variation on the burrow attack, and his rock throw made me go, "Damn, son!" Just a great roster all around. Maybe the new moves were present in some versions of the monsters I haven't played, but they're new for me, and they're still fantastic, okay? Okay, I think I've made all the points I wanted to make. I could talk about all the monsters individually in detail, but this was really about answering the difficulty question in Rise. Maybe I'll experiment with a story type structure in a future video, going over each encounter and my overall journey. Maybe. But the future is not now, old man. Now is shout out time for my cool and awesome patron boob.
Una!
May your dangles be sumptuous and your maidens juicy. Oh, wait, I don't know how your boat floats, so here you go, just in case. If you'd also like me to give you daily motivational quotes every few weeks, join now. Look at this ticking clock. Doesn't it fill you with urgency? Like you just need to subscribe to my Patreon? If not, consider checking out my other videos, liking, sharing, subscribing. If double not, I'm just happy you made it till the end. I work hard on these videos and I appreciate all of you watching. Happy New Year and have a great 2026, y'all. Thank you, and bye-bye.